My name is Susan. I've been at Women of Hope for 17 months. And before I came to Women of Hope, I lived in total darkness. My life was extremely dark. I guess I should tell you that I grew up in a very loving Christian home. I had wonderful parents. I went through a very good 20-year marriage. I had 2 beautiful children. Something happened at that point in my life. I guess I got bored with my marriage. I didn't feel like it was enough for me. And I met someone else, and I got involved in drugs because he was involved in drugs.
I'm Susan Phillips' mother. My name is Ruth Wilcoxon. We were a Christian family, very loving family. We were close. About Susan and her life. Susan was the life of our family, really. We could sit at the table together and fellowship together, and Susan was always the one that liked to laugh and crack the jokes and have a good time.
In those 17 years, I lost my family. So to speak, I separated myself from my family because of the guilt and the shame that I felt.
She got married in her early 20s and had a son and a daughter, and she had a good husband, but after a few years of marriage, things began to go wrong. And it wasn't that she wanted to give up on her marriage or anything. They tried to work it out. She wanted it to work out. She was working long hours, and she was out of the home. And she got interested in someone else. And in the meantime, she began to turn her attention away from her home too. So eventually she asked her husband for a divorce, and it turned out that they did get a divorce. She left her home. She didn't leave her children, but the young man she was interested in was on drugs. He was on alcohol. And we had some talks together, and she just felt like she loved this man. And in her own way, I guess she did, but the drugs became the issue. At first, it was very light. I don't believe there was anything really deeply involved, and we had our talks, and of course I wanted her to stay away from that kind of influences. Over the years she became very addictive. I think it was to cocaine. And of course more and more all along the way she separated herself from the family as natural. That was natural. And we just kept praying, hoping, putting our faith and confidence in the Lord concerning all this, and He was faithful.
It's very sad for me to remember back of the many times that I tried to commit suicide because life was not worth living for me. I hated myself. I hated my life. I prayed every night that God would just not let me wake up the next day. But God had something better in store for me. And He knew much more than I knew. And He spared my life so many times. And I'm so grateful that He did.
Even though the things that she done a lot of times through the years of the drug abuse it hurt, but somehow the Lord just put a love in my heart for her that was beyond myself. I knew it was beyond me. And I could never feel harsh or hard toward her. And she knew that, and she realized that her family was there for her, which we were. We were always there for her, and we loved her dearly. But after quite a few years of drug abuse, the Lord just did a miracle in her life. We had come to the end of our way. Like I said in my heart, I said, Lord, I don't know where to turn now. And I just made that confession before the Lord, and I said, I've come as far as I can come, and I can't go any further, and I don't know which way to turn.
Drug addiction robs you of everything, and it hurts you. It hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts your children. It destroys everything. The last time I tried to commit suicide, I should be so dead because I was serious. It was like the Lord just told me to go stand in front of a train, let it run over you, and I'm gonna pick you back up because I have a life for you. And even though I didn't know at the time what that was, He kept me until through a miraculous thing. It was a miracle. He brought me to Women of Hope.
I had come to the end of the way and no place to turn. She just had come to the end of her way. I had come to the end of my way. And I said, Lord, I can't go any further. And this is when the door opened at Women of Hope. Through a miraculous wonder that took place just in a matter of a few hours, the Lord just changed the whole picture, and the door was open for Susan to come into Women of Hope house.
I'd been home for a while with my mom we both were trying to figure out some place for me to go. I wanted my life back. I wanted my family back, and I was desperate to find a place, but I wanted a spiritual place to come. I wanted someone with a spiritual foundation. A friend called me from West Monroe, Louisiana, and told me she had heard of a place that Perry Stone had moved a women's rehab up to Cleveland. And we were just going to happen to go through Cleveland the next day. And it was just a miracle how all that came together. And I called Miss Connie. She told me to come. We stopped by the next day, and they received me with open arms in February of 2011. I was arrested for a past drug deal that I had done back in April of 2009. And it was a federal charge. It was very shocking, but through it all, I had the peace of the Lord. I was never afraid. And I guess back in my old behavior, I would have just totally ran. That would have just been my old behavior. It would be just to run away, hide, get back on drugs. But the Lord gave me strength to see it through. The Lord just keeps working in miraculous ways. And I know that He has the situation under control. So it's just to let anybody know that, you know, there's just hope. Through Jesus Christ, there is hope. He never leaves us. He never forsakes us. And it is just pure joy to live for Him and to serve Him. He's so gracious and forgiving. And I love Him so much, and I love the Women of Hope. They have stood behind me in this situation that I'm facing right now. They've supported me. They will continue to support me. They go to court with me. I just couldn't ask for a better situation. I couldn't ask for better people to be around.
Connie and David are precious. I see them as precious instruments of God being used for the glory of God. This has all happened for a reason. Hope House is here for a reason. Their ministry is here for a reason. They've been very loving, very kind, loving Susan, and I just have appreciated that so much, to see their love. And I know that Connie and David is here, and God has put them here. They've been a blessing to my daughter Susan in so many ways. She's so happy. Her life has been totally changed, and she lives for the Lord now. She's joyous, she's happy, and she's got a firm foundation here to build her future on. And I just thank God for all of it. I think it's the most wonderful thing that really, after all has been said and done, it's one of the most wonderful things that's ever happened in our lives. And even though we went through a lot of years of pain and suffering, tears, our hearts are filled with joy and rejoicing now at what God's doing.
Okay. Mom, I just want to tell you how much I love you and how much I appreciate you. And I know that you have prayed for me so many hours. You've shed a lot of tears for me. And I know that your prayers have brought me to where I am today. And I love you so much. And I'm so grateful that you listened to the Lord. And you listened to Him when He told you not to give up on me. And Dad were the most wonderful parents I could ever ask for. And if I had to choose a mother over, I'd choose you. Thank you so much. I love you. I just like to talk to all the parents who have a child that's addicted to drugs or alcohol and they're struggling right now. I'd just like to ask you not to give up on them because they need you. They need your prayers. There is hope.